Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and greetings from sunny Mexico. I'm currently in Tulum, Mexico. You can hear the waves. It is beautiful and I'm so excited today because we are almost at that time. It's time to really go heavy into 2023 wedding planning. And I'm here today with tips, 5 tips, 5 trends to keep in mind as you're planning 2023 weddings. All right, now these tips are great whether you're an event planner looking to grow your business, or if you, of course, are a bride or a groom planning a wedding next year. Like, these are all gonna be great for you, all right? Now, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Faishala. I'm the owner of Statuesque Events. We plan beautiful, modern, multicultural weddings all over the country and all over the world. And we love what we do. We love beautiful weddings. You get to see so many more of those here on our channel. Make sure you subscribe so you catch them. And if you are a wedding pro, you're in luck because I'm also a coach to wedding planners and wedding professionals through my program, Planners Who Profit. One of the things I'm doing in Mexico this weekend actually is just kind of scouting this place out for one of our client retreats for coaching clients, and you definitely don't want to miss out on that, all right? So make sure you check the comments that has all the information on how you can connect with us, hire us either as your event planner, hire my team as your event planner, or hire us as your coach. Now I'm gonna hop into one of these cabanas because it's getting a little warm, and I'm gonna hop right into the 5 trends that you wanna keep in mind when planning your 2023 weddings. Whew, that's a lot better. Now let's hop into the tips. Now, the first tip I have for you is very related to where I am today. And I think in 2023, we definitely want to expect more international wedding destinations, right? Destination weddings are definitely going to be a big thing in 2023. They're already a big thing in 2022, to be honest, but especially in 2023, you know, many people haven't traveled internationally in over 2 years. Many people haven't left the country since the pandemic hit. And you having an event internationally is just an excuse for them to finally do that, to get out, you know, and get a chance to go on a trip with family and friends, go on a trip with people that they know and love without really necessarily having to plan it. You know, people are really doing lots of destination events, especially in the Caribbean, especially in Europe. Those are great places to look into for international destinations. And I would expect a lot more of international events. I mean, earlier this year, we started our first event of the year. It was a destination. It was supposed to be international, but because of some visa challenges in the couple's country, we ended up doing it in Key West, which is just barely in America. It's pretty much the Caribbean, but America. You know, people really are trying to travel, plan, you know, and, you know, this is what we did for them. We had a multi-day celebration, welcome party, you know, people coming in and just enjoying, you know, the tropics. And that wedding was in January, so it was an escape from the cold. These are things that people are looking forward to. People are looking forward to traveling. And at this point, people are so ready to do it. You know, now that borders are fully open, you know, at the time of recording this video, you don't even need a COVID test to re-enter the US. You no longer need a COVID test to enter many other countries. Mask mandates have been dropped on airlines. People overall are just feeling a lot more comfortable with traveling. So I would definitely expect more international destinations. And if this is something that you've been thinking about or dreaming, now is definitely the time to start planning that international wedding. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Call us if that's something that you're looking to do. We'd love to help you through the process of narrowing down locations, but that's definitely something that is going to be a huge trend next year. You know, it's already a trend this year, like I said, but expect even more international destinations. Think Greece, the Caribbean, Paris, Portugal. Just think international for weddings in 2023. Now, trend number 2 that you want to keep in mind for 2023 is smaller weddings. Now, small weddings and micro weddings already became a big thing in 2020, and especially in 2021, you know, given different orders and ordinances about, you know, how many guests you can invite. But this is going to continue for a few reasons. Number 1, a lot of people just like the idea of a small wedding. A lot of people just like the idea of keeping it to 50 or so guests. A lot of people just like it, and people have just fallen in love with it since it's happened. It's been happening over the past couple of years, so I would expect more of that. The second reason is because of this talk of a possible recession, right? Like, as a pending recession is on the horizon, and some people are nervous about it, and some people are nervous about it, so a lot of people are just cutting back, right? And already planning in advance for a smaller event now, and I guess just growing it later if they're able to. So with that is something that some people are keeping in mind. Some people are looking to trim their guest counts just so that you can keep more just for the sake of planning, really, and just as a word of caution, and that's a great idea. I mean, the number one contributing factor to your wedding budget is the size. So trimming the size is a great way if that's something that you're concerned about, right? And the third reason is that when you trim your wedding budget, your wedding guest list, you usually can go way more over the top with what you do for your guests, right? Like if for people who love like custom napkins, custom place settings, custom everything, it's a lot easier to do that for 50 guests than 200, right? Both cost wise, shipping wise, getting everything there, you know, that is definitely a reason. And then last but not least, when it comes to destination events, those already naturally tend to be a little bit smaller. So I would definitely anticipate more smaller events in 2023, but in addition to large ones. But I just think more people are going to take the liberties to plan smaller weddings in 2023. So that's something to keep in mind and to look out for as a trend. All right, now the third, one, two, three. Now the third trend that you definitely want to look out for that's going to be major in 2023 is shorter engagements. Like it's been happening since really 2021, but I anticipate this continuing, like where people get engaged and within 3 months they're married, right? Or they get engaged and within 6 months they're married. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be engaged for a year, I want to be engaged for a year and a half, and that's totally fine. You know, it's great, especially if you need more time to save the money and everything, and especially if you want space in between all of your events leading up to it, like bridal showers, etc. That's great. But the truth is that a lot of people saw how quickly people were able to pull events together and plan them in 2021. You know, when states started reopening, when things started changing really fast, a lot of people saw their neighbors go from no wedding date, no nothing, to married within 3 months. And now people are like, wait, I could do that too. Why am I waiting a year? Why do I have to wait 2 years, you know? So in 2023, I definitely would expect more shorter engagements. Definitely what that means, especially for vendors, is you have to figure out how to, you have to figure out how to do whatever it is you do in a shorter time frame. So if you're used to planning events in a year, figure out what it would take for you to plan an event in 3 months or in 2 months, and figure out what your own minimums are, right? What the cutoff is for when you're going to start planning events. But I would say this is a huge trend, even within my own coaching community, with the wedding planners that I coach. Almost all of them have had clients hire them this year for events that took place in less than 6 months, and many for events that were taking place in less than 3 months, right? For start to finish planning. And all of these couples got married. The weddings were beautiful, right? So these are things that it doesn't have to diminish your event. If you're a bride and you're like, what, is this possible? It's 100% possible. It's 100% possible to find vendors, venues, all of that. And that's something that I expect to continue, honestly, in 2023. I think that, you know, I definitely expect that to continue as more people are gathering for the holidays. I think holiday engagements are going to be a big thing this year. So that's a bonus tip. That's like tip 3.5. I think holiday engagements are going to be major this year. A lot of people are going to be gathering for Thanksgiving, gathering for Christmas, gathering for the New Year, and getting engaged, right? And a lot of those people who get engaged are probably not going to want to wait a full year and a half, or, you know, and have a winter wedding. If they want to have a spring wedding, they'll probably do it in a short time frame. I definitely anticipate a lot of that. So those are some things to keep in mind. You know, if you're someone who, again, on the flip side, you're planning a wedding and you're like, oh, I want to get all my vendors before the rush, that means before the end of the year, right? Because a lot of people are going to get engaged on short time frames, and they are going to move really fast on vendors. So getting ahead of the game means doing a lot of the things you need to do this year, right? Before the year ends, before the big rush. So that's tips 3 and 3B right there. All right, I'm stepping out of the cabana for this one. In 2023, I expect trend number 4 to be lots of non-traditional venues, right? Think industrial venues, think wineries, think galleries, museums. I think that in 2023, fewer and fewer people are doing weddings in hotels and traditional ballrooms, right? People are really trying to get creative, go to wineries, go to rooftops, do things that are different for their wedding. So that's something I would definitely anticipate. If you're like, oh man, what do I do? Like, if I want to have a trendy wedding next year, what do I do? That's something I would consider, right? Consider venues other than a bunch of hotels, venues other than a bunch of catering halls. There are lots of ways to make that happen, especially when you're working with a professional wedding planner who knows how to pull these things together, work with offsite catering and all those things. But definitely definitely lots of non-traditional venues. So yeah, like I said, definitely think museums, galleries, you know, industrial spaces, things like that. Even some co-working spaces kind of convert in the evening. There's so many places, wineries that you can consider. So definitely lots of industrial and non-traditional venues I think are going to be super hot come 2023. And last but not least, we've made it to number 5, and number 5 is We Outside. We Outside. And what that means is people are going to be having more outdoor wedding ceremonies. I mean, after being indoors for so long, not traveling, you know, and all of that, people are really loving anything happening outdoors. I'm sure you've probably noticed by now, all of your friends have been to at least 1 or 2 festivals. People like being outside. People love picnicking. Like, we are enjoying the freedom of being outside. And I think that's going to continue into next year. Now, I do think for a wedding reception, you know, fewer people like having their guests outside all night, because that usually means either a little bit of expensive HVAC or that your guests are going to be hot for 6 or 7 hours while they're at your wedding. But for a 30-minute ceremony, people can definitely enjoy the outdoors. And I definitely want to say that I anticipate seeing a whole lot of that in 2023. So those are your trends. Okay, if you're planning your wedding next year and you're like, how do I stay on top of the trends? These are the things you want to start considering as you're picking venues, picking vendors, coming up with your dream board and all that. If you've made it to this point of the video, I hope you've enjoyed it and this has been helpful. Let me know your favorite trend in the comments. Let me know the ones you are considering using in the comments. And as usual, don't forget to like this video and subscribe before you leave. Let the algorithm know that you enjoyed it. Let them know that it was helpful. It helps us so much. We love making all this free content, and that's your way of thanking us back. All right, so like I said, we have so many more videos coming. We already have a lot of videos on our channel. You can browse lots of multicultural weddings, browse lots of tips, so much more. Make sure you peruse that, and we'll be back again next week with another video as usual. All right, enjoy, and I'll catch you the next time.